himself into the lead. Smile.
Look at that shooting accuracy.
He's going to cross the line as a deserving World Cup final champion.
صباح الفل حبيبي عامل ايه؟
We absolutely cannot wait to get back underway, beginning with women's semi-finals. We'll explain the rules as we go by. Myself, James Anadakis, and Mariam Amur bring you commentary right here from Cairo, Egypt, where the temperature is 23 degrees. Lovely conditions actually out here for the athletes in this first of the World Cup series leading into the World Cup final and the World Championships, as we start to think about the Los Angeles Olympics in 2028. It's all about Cairo though for now, and the competition rules have tweaked a little bit since last year, so we'll explain how things work. Fencing direct elimination is how things begin. 5 rounds of direct elimination. The first 5 touches is the winner, and they'll progress through from all the way through to the final. Then we move over to the obstacles, where the athletes have to get past the 8 obstacles. The quicker you get through, the more points you get. It's simple as that. This is where things changed a little bit. Swimming has been reduced from 200 meters to 100 meters freestyle. We've referred to pentathlon being fast and frantic in the past. It's even more fast and even more frantic, leading into the laser run, where again things have slightly changed. It used to be there'd be a formation lap where the athletes would do a direct run of the course before going to the shooting range. Now the shooting range is open right from the beginning of the race, so the athletes will all make their way towards the shooting range, and there is 5 laps of course of the 600 meter circuit, 3,000 meters in total. And the first over the finish line is the winner. But this being semi-finals, it is all about the battle for the top 9. Yes, that's right, get inside the top 9 and you qualify for Super Sunday, where the medals are won here in Egypt. This is modern pentathlon, as fast, as frantic, and we cannot wait to get underway here in Cairo, Egypt. Mariam Amur, welcome back to the commentary box. It's a pleasure to have you here.
Pleasure is all mine. I mean, I'm so excited to be back. This season is going to be even more fast and even more frantic, just like you said. And yeah, I'm excited to see how these athletes have prepared.
So these are the athletes taking part in women's semi-final A. Ilka Özüksel, by the way, at the top of the list. 24 victories from the seeding round, which took place yesterday.
Yeah.
Now, this is actually a really, really important point to make here. The 24 victories for Ilka Özüksel does give her an advantage in that she is the highest seeded fencer. Yep. But actually, if she loses her round of 16 match against the winner of Wu or De Waal, it doesn't make any difference. So it's all still to play for now, and a good seeding round does not guarantee you progression in this competition, does it?
Exactly. I think you just bypass 1 round if you're not in the bottom 4 in the ranking rounds. But yeah, it's all to play for here in Cairo.
Let's introduce the athletes one by one then. First up, Poppy Clark, young British athlete, part of the University of Bath program, semi-finalist at the 2025 Junior World Championships. Then it is Mathilde De Waal, a promising young French talent. Was a gold medalist in the European Under-22 Relay Championships. Wu from China out next. Chinese junior circuit performer won relay bronze at the 2024 Junior World Championships. Part of China's developing next generation of women. Next, it's Paula Sofia Valencia, Guatemala's leading pentathlete, part of a growing presence in the sport from Guatemala, limited World Cup finals experience at this level. Up next, Olivia Green, who pentathlon fans will be very familiar with. Bronze medalist at the 2023 European Games. Gold medalist World Championships Team Gold in 2022. Some of her accolades will go through them as the competition progresses. Blanca Guzzi, one of the stars of the sports. Silver medalist at the World Championships last year. A multiple World Cup gold medalist. Anna Yurts, an Olympian from Paris. Broke the Olympic laser run record in semi-finals under the old format. Topped the entire qualification field here with 1,415 points. World number 14, Valentina Martinescu from Italy, out next. Exciting young Italian talents. And Aronini Prampolini making her way back onto the World Cup circuit with an impressive progression through to the semi-finals.
Representing Mexico, Myron Oliver.
Catherine Myron Oliver, veteran Mexican athlete, well known on the World Cup circuit, competed at the Paris 2024 Olympic Games after qualifying through the Pan American Games. Sira Aslan from Turkey, limited senior World Cup history, but showing good fencing credentials. 17 wins in the seeding round. Into the top 7 now, Anastasia Malashenica, who grabbed the world's attention with bronze in Cairo this time last year. Looking to back that up again with good form here in Egypt. Salma Abdelmoqsood, one of 2 athletes from Egypt in the top 6. 2018 Youth Olympic Games gold medalist, Egypt's first ever pentathlon Olympic gold of any kind, won alongside Ahmed El-Gendi. Katharina Yurts, twin sister of Florina Yurts, who we'll see in semi-final B, younger sibling of Anna Yurts, who's 12th in this semi-final. All Yurts sisters, interestingly, qualifying from the same qualifying session. A remarkable family story. Highest ranked Egyptian athletes here in women's semi-final A, Heidi Morsi, 3-time Olympian in Rio, Tokyo and Paris. The Olympic gold medalist, Michelle Gouyache, needs little introduction. A real star, not just of the sport, but indeed in Hungary. Does much work outside of pentathlon in terms of her own personal brand. A really inspiring athlete, and having succeeded at the top of the sport. Cecile Lev from Germany, a rising German talent, primarily known at junior level, but has put in a really good performance in the seeding round. 21 victories. And then a final athlete for women's semi-final A, Ilker Züksel from Turkey, who famously qualified for the final in Bulgaria last year in one of the most dramatic stories of the season. She is a multiple World Cup medalist and a star in Turkey, her home country. And that is your 18 athletes from women's semi-final A. The top 9 qualify. We start with the fencing direct elimination. This is a very tight field.
It is. I mean, all 18 athletes are incredible in their own way. And yeah, I think for now, with the direct elimination, it kind of levels the field a little bit from yesterday. I mean, the bottom 4 are the ones with a bit of a disadvantage because they have an extra round to go through, which is the round of 32.
Here you can see then how the bracket will take place. Top 32 will battle it out first, and then we'll know pretty much what happens then from the top 16 onwards. It's 2 fencing pits. We'll see the action from both.
Yeah, I think it's interesting how it kind of is a level playing field, but at the same time you have that mental challenge, I'd say, from the ranking round. If you didn't fence as well yesterday, it's going to be a bit of an issue for some of the athletes, some others not. But yeah, it's a chance to redeem themselves as well.
You've nailed it in saying that there's no guarantees, but equally there is the chance to rectify any mistakes made in the seeding round. So
yeah,
if you didn't compete as well as you wanted to yesterday, there is a chance still to progress.
Exactly, but it is a different tactic as well, because in modern pentathlon we've been training for that one touch, a single touch. So now you're going to have to change tactics because you're not playing one touch anymore. You're going to have to change going into this elimination round.
Well set up there, Mariam, and we are nearly ready to go underway with our round of 32 battles. Derval and Wu at the top of your screen, Clark and Valencia on the bottom of your screen. First to 5, or the highest ranked athlete, if it clicks down to 0, the priority rule comes into place if the scores are level, which means the highest ranked athlete from the seeding round would progress if the scores were level. We'll explain things as we go on, folks. What's great about the 2026 Modern Pentathlon coverage is we can see both pieces at the same time, which is an important addition to this ever-adapting sport, which just, in my opinion, Mariam, the coverage just gets better and better every year. It's fantastic to watch.
It does. I mean, this is an exciting season. We've left that post-Paris Olympic season where most of the athletes have just, you know, kind of relaxed and just took a year off maybe to, just take vacation, maybe work on obstacles. So this season's going to be interesting.
Lots of little sub-narratives, isn't there, within this sport? We have the post-Olympic hangover, if you like. That's gone now. Everyone's fresh. It's now attention turns to LA, doesn't it? We have 3 full seasons before the athletes will compete on this sport's biggest stage, the Olympic Games. We're getting there, aren't we, folks? These Olympic routines, they come around quickly. Up next, LA. But firstly, they've got to qualify, and qualification really does begin here. Deval versus Wu at the top of your screen, Clark versus Valencia at the bottom of your screen. Here we go.
Yeah, it kind of seems like France and Clark from GB are working on the attack here. They are the lower ranked athletes, and so they don't have time priority.
So you can see the star next to the athlete's name will show you who has priority.
Yeah, Clark with 2 points already.
Good start by Clark. So Valencia now has work to do. I believe it's around 30 seconds to go.
Whew, beautiful foot touch there from Valencia. It's 2-1 at the bottom of your screen, and Piece A still working out some technical difficulties there.
Important now working out for Valencia a way to get past Clark and get that next touch. That was a crucial one for her. If she levels the scores now, she will be back in his advantage. But Clark gets the touch in 3-1. Deval versus Wu, 1-1. This is to decide who will face either Ilka Züchsel or Lev from Germany. They'll be watching on curiously. Clark's in a really good position here. 1 touch needed for Clark to progress through to the round of 16. Performance director Jamie Cook from Team GB will be watching on, very happy with what he's seeing so far. Valencia trying to work her way back into this battle at the bottom of your screen. She gets the touch to make it 4-2. She keeps herself going. 2-1 meanwhile to Deval. It's 3-2 by the way, Clark versus Valencia. So actually not quite as good for the Brits. And in fact now Valencia levels the tie. So lack of concentration then for Clark, allowing Valencia back in. 3-3 the score.
15 seconds are left.
Yeah, so it is Valencia again with the point. She's turned things around now. It's 4-3 for Valencia.
Into the final 10 seconds then of Deval versus Wu. Deval gets the touch, and surely that could be the deciding touch. Valencia now 4-3 to the good. Clark with work to do. Wu looking to try and keep this competition tight. And Valencia's done it. She's defeated Clark. It was a good start by Clark, but Valencia came back well and gets to 5 to mean that she will be up against Lev in the next round.
And look at that, France with Deval winning that bout and moves into the top 16 athletes now. It's a good round from Wu of China, she was actually higher ranked before this direct elimination. Deval in with a good chance of moving up the rankings.
So there we go. Those are your athletes that will progress through to the round of 16. It's Züchsel versus Deval. It's Valencia versus Lev. And the other round of 16 ties are Oliver versus Aslan. And intriguingly, by the way, the 2 Yurt sisters are competing against each other. This will be fun to watch. It's not often you see this in pentathlon. You do have various sibling rivalries that take place. Here we go then. The number 1 seed and the number 2 seed step up to the piece. Ilka Züchsel at the top. Lev of Germany at the bottom. Both of these athletes carrying good form into the fencing direct elimination.
Yeah, Ilka now taking to the back of the piste.
And it's a double touch for both athletes.
Just playing it safe for the time being in Piece B. We see Valencia go for that lunge, and now the double touch does count as a 1-1. So that's an interesting progression of the sport.
Yep, double touches do count towards the points, so 1-1 on both pistes. KG starts from both the seeded athletes, the higher seeded athletes. Priority with Azuxal and Leh, who are first and second from the seeding round. Another double touch there from Deval and Azuxal. And Azuxal won't mind that.
Yeah, I think she knows the priorities with her.
Yep. Valencia, though, has... Well, this is where it's intriguing, isn't it? Because if you're in the round of 32, you do then have you kind of warmed up, aren't you?
Yeah, I think they're more fresh and more ready for the game now. It's 2-2 on Piece B.
Two intriguing battles taking place in front of us here. And again, it's another double touch, and you could say Azuxal potentially playing a dangerous game here, because if Deval gets the next touch, he's only one away from victory. This is where Azuxal really needs to focus. Leh and Valencia are on 3-3 as well. Two very intriguing battles here in our first round of 16 ties. Wait for the official confirmation, but it is Deval and Azuxal both sharing the spoils. It's 4-4. Next point wins. Nervy moment this for Azuxal. It all comes down to this. Azuxal, the higher seeded fencer, struggling to stay in this competition. It's, I think, a double touch. Was it? No, Deval gets the touch and defeats Azuxal. So a shock here in the round of 16. Our highest ranked fencer is out.
Yeah,
and will have to settle for, rather than the 250 points she would have got with the old format. I mean, this is the thing. So because she's the highest seeded fencer, the minimum she can get is 10th. So she's guaranteed, I think, 216 points, around the 216 mark. So it's not a disaster for Azuxal. She's such a good runner that you would imagine she will still qualify. But she's made life difficult on herself. Great fencing, though, from Deval, who progresses through to the round of 8, the quarterfinals. Well done, Deval.
Yeah, Deval and Valencia both qualifying into the top 8 now and making their way up the rankings quite well. And this is what we were talking about earlier on. I mean,
I actually missed that in the excitement. So Valencia did defeat Leh in the end. My goodness me.
The underdogs do win this round and move up to the top 8 now.
But that's what keeps fencing so exciting in this new direct elimination format. The former method was the fencing bonus round, where athletes could pick up 2 points.
Yeah, it wasn't that
it was intriguing
impactful
to see, but it didn't help too much in the context of the competition. This makes a real difference, doesn't it?
Yeah, this is life-changing, I think, for these athletes.
Life-changing moments right here in front of us.
Yeah, so we move on to the rest of the matches in the table of 16. We have Catherine Mayan Oliver and Sidal Aslan in Piece A, and Irini Prampolini and Malashinoka in Piece B.
Yeah, interesting ties. This Prampolini working her way back onto the pentathlon circuit. She's a mother now. As an 18-month-old little girl who's travelled out with her to this competition. That is the life of a mother. It's always on the go. But here she is competing while it's in great shape. She's had to make the adjustment into the obstacle discipline as well. Was a good rider, Prampolini. Oliver versus Aslan and Prampolini versus Malashinoka. Malashinoka, a bronze medalist this time last year in the first World Cup of the 2025 season. Really shot to fame in this sport, picking up her first bronze. It's 1-1 between Oliver and Aslan.
Yeah, 1-1 on both pieces now. Irini Prampolini as the lower ranked athlete. Doesn't have priority, needs to move up 1 on the score if she is to make it through to the next round.
Making her way through the round of 16 ties here. Oliver moves into a 2-1 lead.
That's it, time's up on Piece A.
Goodness me.
Yeah, Oliver moves into the table of 8 now. This is interesting. Not even to 5 yet, but that clock does tick down.
I mean, a slight upset there. Oliver being the 9th seeded athlete, Aslan being the 8th seeded athlete. So it'll be Deval versus Aslan, but very little between those two in terms of their seeding rounds. Prampolini Malashenica moves on. Now, normally at this stage, we would be able to give you how long is left of the piece, which is an important part of the story. At the moment, we're not able to do that, but we can, of course, give you the live scores. Prampolini 2, Malashenica 1. Into the final 5 seconds we go, and I think Malashenica got the touch there. Was it Prampolini?
Yeah, I think it was a good defense there from Prampolini, just keeping that distance in the right angle. And there she goes for a flash, but Prampolini with that counter attack. Good stuff from Prampolini of Italy. 4-1, she leads in this match.
And it's 4-1 for Italy. Thank you so much.
واحدة جامدة قوي. اصلا
Now we're having on piece
Martinescu versus Abdul Maqsood on piece B, Yurt and Yurt on piece A. The battle of the Yurt sisters. These two will know each other well, and listen, Mariam is a former athlete and someone who's competed very closely with people you probably refer to as sisters because you're so close as athletes. What's it like competing against someone you're so close to?
It's extra tricky, especially now that it's not just 1 point anymore. You don't have that element of surprise. You're gonna have to get the touch again and again and again, so you're gonna have to change tactics, and that's especially hard when you know the athlete in front of you so well and train with them all the time. And seeing as these two are sisters, Anna probably gave her some pointers here and there.
So we've just been updated that they've lost power to the piece, so there might be a little bit of a delay whilst they try to get it back. I think it is back, so we can resume with the competition. Yurt and Yurt, Martinescu and Abdul Maqsood. And away we go, the battle of the sisters.
Yeah, Anna Yurt on the attack here as Katerina is higher ranked. Katerina with the touch from the get-go. Looks like it was a forearm touch there from Yurt.
Anna, of course, is better known within the World Cup circuit. Katerina, the up-and-coming twin sister.
Yeah, bit of more experience from Anna, yeah.
But then
Definitely.
perhaps that experience doesn't always necessarily result in winning. Katerina now in a 2-0 lead.
It's 2-1 now for Anna Yurt, for Katerina Yurt.
Double touch, I think it was, wasn't it? Martinescu Abdul Maqsood on 1-1.
It's very difficult to read that matchup there with both Yurt's sisters. It's going to be very tight. It's 2-2 between them now, so all to play for.
2-2 on both beasts. Martinescu versus Abdul Maqsood. Abdul Maqsood carrying the hope of the Egyptian crowd watching in the background here.
I think it's difficult for both sisters to have a reaction to either winning or losing because they both obviously want each other to succeed. But it's 3-all now. We're getting closer to that 5-point mark.
Either sister wants the other one to succeed right now. I think it's war out there. Sam Abdul Maqsood now moves into a 4-3 lead, 1 point away from victory.
Katerina Yurt progresses through to the table of 8. And Salma Abdul Maqsood makes her way as well. She wins that bout and heads on over to the table of 8. So final 2 matches then of this table of 16 in the direct elimination. We have 4 athletes
We're
competing.
having on piece A, Blanka Guzzi representing Hungary.
So on piece A, we have Blanka
Heidi
Guzzi
Mursi
and
representing
Heidi Mursi.
Egypt.
This is going to be an interesting bout. Both very strong athletes in the field. Guzzi,
And
I
on
think, with
piece
a bit of a stronger advantage in the laser run in terms of her speed.
And for piece B, we're
So,
having Michelle Goulias,
important points up for grabs here.
the Paris 2024 medalist.
As we look at piece
versus
B, Olivia
Oliver
Green
representing
representing
Great Britain.
Great Britain, and Michelle Goulias on the right there on piece B as well, representing Hungary. Here we go then. Heidi Mursi from the get-go, I think, is now just waiting for Guzzi's attack here. She has the French grip. She has the upper hand in terms of length. Guzzi is being very fierce, but you can see the crowd cheering on Heidi Mursi there as she grabs her first point in this all-important match. Goulias and Olivia Green 1-all. It's a double touch. It's interesting. The double touches count now. And again, both athletes on the right-hand side of your screen do have advantage, but Heidi Mursi walks away with 2-0 as of now. Trying to get you the clock as well. It's difficult to see. I think we're at the halfway mark now. Heidi Mursi again just being on the defense there, waiting for Guzzi to make her move. She knows she has that advantage, goes for the... Yeah, look at that as she lunges forward. It is 3-0 for Heidi Mursi. This is good stuff from her. Time is ticking down on piece A. It is 3-1 for Heidi Mursi, still with that advantage. And there we go. Heidi Mursi makes it a non-starter. This is 4-1 now for Heidi Mursi. One more point to win this bout and move up to the table of 8. And you have the athletes on piece B as well. Michelle Goulias hanging on to that lead. But Guzzi gets a second point here. This might get interesting. Let's not get ahead of ourselves. Guzzi goes for it, but it is a duck from Heidi Mursi. A double touch means she wins this bout and moves forward to the table of 8. Michelle Goulias on piece B with the win as well. Moves on, and now we have just completed the table of 16. Move over to the table of 8 now. So we have Derval, Oliver, Katerina, Mursi, Salma Abdul Masoud, Goulias, Prampolini, and Paula Valencia of Guatemala. These are the athletes making up the table of 8 now. So athletes making their way off the piste as we get started on this table of 8. Top 8 athletes as of now. Big points up for grabs. So we have Derval and Oliver be up on the top half of your screen. It's the first match in the table of 8. And we have Oliver and Prampolini on piece B. Oh, sorry, excuse me. It is Valencia and Prampolini on piece B.
I've been really impressed by Rania Prampolini. This is her first World Cup semi-final appearance in some time.
Yeah.
And she just, I would say that she's approaching as good as she's ever looked. I'd be curious to see how she gets on as this competition progresses. Can she make the final? We'll find out as the competition progresses. Prampolini takes the first point then against Valencia. Oliver and Derval will get underway on piece A shortly. Valencia levels the tie. 1-1 on piece B.
Yeah, moving into the semifinals is big points for these athletes, so they're gonna win this bout. Obviously, Valencia moves 2 up now. 1 up, it's 2-1.
So Valencia turns things around after the initial touch from Prampolini. Still yet to get underway on piece A. once the quarterfinals are done, from semi-finals onwards, it's just one piece.
Yeah, it's 30 seconds still on the clock, and Prampolini with another touch levels the score, so 30 seconds still.
Intriguing moments then of both these pieces. Double touch, I think, there from Prampolini and Valencia. Oliver Deval is locked it to all.
It's 4-4, so 1 point away from the win. It's anyone's game at this point. This is going to be...
Priority is with Prampolini, 10th overall in the seeding round. Who gets the touch?
We have 12 seconds on the clock now. This is going to have to be very accurate from either of those athletes. Prampolini takes the counterattack, but Valencia, and you can see how happy she is with that touch, wins the bout against Prampolini 5-4. That was so close.
So Valencia has made her way now from the round of 32.
She was 15th.
Clark. She defeated Leigh in the round of 16. Has now defeated Irene Prampolini in the quarterfinals. She's through to the semi-finals, and as one of the lower ranked athletes, this is truly a remarkable example of how, if you perform on the day, anything can happen in pentathlon. And Valencia now takes a step closer to the final after this impressive performance here in women's semi-final A, the first World Cup of the 2020 season. Guyash versus Abdul Maqsood is another intriguing battle. Deval and Oliver are yet to conclude their tie on piece day. We'll focus on piece B now, because Abdul Maqsood will catch the attention of the local crowd. Guyash, you could sit here and list everything she's achieved in this sport and the bout would be finished, because it's so long, that list.
Yeah,
I think the headline is she's the Olympic gold medalist, and that is what they all strive for here on the pentathlon circuit. Guyash on the right, Sam Abdul Maqsood on the left.
Yeah, Guyash just keeping it steady now. These athletes have known each other for a long time. Sam Abdul Maqsood being the Youth Olympic gold medalist. And there we go. First touchdown from Salma Abdul Maqsood.
I'd say one of Guyash's strongest disciplines. I mean, she's strong across all disciplines, but she's a good fencer. She's a consistent fencer, which you have to be consistently good at pentathlon. So many points riding on the fencing. So Guyash has been in every situation you can imagine, and then some. Meanwhile, Deval and Oliver on piece A, close to conclusion. That's been a long tie, that one, so we'll have a little bit of catching up to do. But double touch for Abdul Maqsood and Guyash, which means it's 2-1.
Yeah, she takes a moment to adjust her blade there, and we'll be back on with piece B. By the way, piece A, I think we have 4 seconds left on the clock. Oliver with the win of this bout on piece A and moves over to the semis. Again, another interesting ascension there from Oliver. She started out in 9th. Ooh, look at that. Guyash and Salma Abdul Maqsood. 2-2 with 7 seconds left on the clock.
Final moments then of this tie. Abdul Maqsood and Guyash level. In fact, no, it is 2-1. So it's the final 5 seconds. Guyash needs to find a way past Abdul Maqsood. Final few seconds. Abdul Maqsood is quite aggressive there. Guyash just managing to stay on the piece. And there is just 2.6 seconds left for Guyash to find a way past Abdul Maqsood. She's going to have to absolutely launch herself forward to try to find the touch. No touch. Less than a second to go. Is Guyash about to be knocked out in the quarterfinal stage here?
She just needs to level the score. She is the one with priority. She goes for a flash, but it is Salma Abdul Maqsood winning this bout and moves over to the semis.
Salma Abdul Maqsood and Michelle Guyash.
So, would you call that a shock? I mean, listen, Guyash is coming back from injury as well.
I mean, with the 5 points to victory, it's a different strategy. So we're seeing things we haven't seen before. We've seen these athletes obviously compete with the 1 point touches, but it is a whole different story with those 5 points.
And of course, Goyash from any position is still a match with.
Definitely, yeah.
The speed she has in swimming, she's so good at obstacles. She's made that position from right into obstacle perfectly.
Yeah, nothing is settled as of yet.
So we're now going to be focusing just on one piece. We've got the final quarterfinal. Oh my goodness me.
She is okay. She makes it up to the piece again, but it is Heidi Morsi with the second touch on piece A.
Morsi with the priority and the 2-point lead in this quarterfinal tie. Trina Yurts defeating her sister Anna Yurt in the previous round. Now has work to do with the priority with Morsi.
Yeah.
We are focused now fully on piece A.
Yeah, 30 seconds on the clock now for this piece, so still plenty of time to make moves here. Katarina Yurts is going to have to be aggressive because this is looking good from Heidi Morsi.
Morsi, though, getting the touch, moving into a 3-0 lead. And now Yurts really has work to do here. It's going to be difficult. She needs 4. And Morsi now is cruising to victory here, where 1 more touch will secure her progression through to the semi-finals. Yeah, keeps things going.
Yeah, Katarina picks up a point there. Not sure if it's going to be enough.
And there is the second touch for Yurt. So nothing's impossible, but she'd need 3 more with less than 10 seconds to go. Morsi can cruise to victory here. She's waiting for her opportunity, and there she is. With the lunge to move through to the semi-finals with a 5-2 victory. So the replays there then of Heidi Morsi getting the job done.
Yeah, so semi-final matches now. We've got 2 matches. And the winners will move over to the deciding matches. You can see there up on your screen.
There we can see Oliver and Morsi, Abdul Maqsood and Valencia. The athletes in bold are the ones that have completed their bouts and progressed through to the top 4. A bit of a surprise, I would say, at this point of the competition.
Yeah, I think Valencia made a pretty strong comeback there. She started it out at 15th position after the ranking round. So didn't have the best defenses yesterday, but this is what we talk about when it comes to pentathlon. Nothing is certain till that last moment, and she's faring well for herself as of now.
And also worth pointing out, this is the battle for the top 9. So really anyone from round of 16 onwards will still have their eyes firmly locked on a place inside that top 9 to get through to the final, which is where the medals are won and lost. Oliver versus Morsi.
No touch there, was a ground touch. And it is still 0-0 for both athletes. Morsi. Yeah, we should be on our way now. Heidi with the French grip and left-handed as well, gives her a bit of an advantage over the rest of the athletes. But Oliver as well is a left-handed athlete. Again, no touch. If the clock does tick down, Heidi Morsi does have the priority over Oliver. You can see that marked by a star on the right-hand side of your screen next to Heidi's name.
Heidi Morsi 4th overall in the seeding round 20 wins, a 3-time Olympian as mentioned, having competed in Rio 2016, aged just 16 years old, the youngest Egyptian at Olympic Games. Of course, competing in Paris and Tokyo. She was a gold medalist at the 2019 African Championships, which qualified her for Tokyo.
Oliver pushing her to the back of the piece now. Oof. It is a touch for Oliver there. Leading the charge.
19 seconds are left.
I mean, the winner does move over to the finals. Big points up for grabs. It doesn't mean you get a medal today, but it does mean you get a bit more room of comfort heading into the laser run.
10, 9,
As you see, changing strategy now. She went for the attack, didn't quite get the touch, checking her equipment here.
Cagey stop-start battle this, with just one touch secured in the opening
7 seconds are left.
50 seconds or so of this bout. Oliver currently with the lead, but it's a 10-1. Morsey with priority, tries to get down low to try and get the foot touch on Oliver. Oliver defending well here, and Morsey does get that touch. Rode her time well there, and it's now 1-all, but priority with Morsey would put her through to the final. Oliver has to attack here. Morsey can defend, and she does get the touch. Overly aggressive that from Oliver, but she had to. In fact, it was a double touch.
Yeah, she needs one over Heidi to progress through.
Morsey just needs to defend here. It's all attention on Oliver, who has to commit in these final couple of moments of this bout. And there we go, Morsey victorious.
Heidi Morsey for the semifinals for the 50 players elimination.
Yeah, good fencing there from Heidi Morsey. First one into the finals. As we wait for the second match of the semifinals, it's going to be Salma Abdel Maqsood versus Paula Sofia Valencia of Guatemala.
Not impossible that we get an all-Egyptian final, which I think would be exciting, wouldn't it? And listen, you know these athletes well, having been training with them your whole life.
Yeah, it's an interesting one when you have two people that know each other so well and fence together, and they work out together, they go out together, they're friends in real life. So it's just interesting to see that change in dynamic, especially we have an all-Egyptian crowd here.
But Valencia is the underdog story of this semi-final, direct elimination so far. She's had to make her way past the second highest ranked fencer in Leer of Germany. She then had to beat Prampolini. She then now has to beat local favourite Salma Abdel Maqsood. Knows the conditions well, knows what she's doing here. But somehow Valencia catches Abdel Maqsood out with the right foot touch there and moves into the early lead. Valencia is just working on momentum here, and momentum is a powerful force, not one that you can recreate in the coaching sense. It's all about the athlete in the moment that they're currently feeling. Salma Abdel Maqsood this time fortuitous and gets the touch to level at 1 apiece. Really intriguing semi-final tie this.
Yeah, so Valencia on the attack now. Salma Abdel Maqsood goes for a flesh, but Valencia does defend well. It is 2-1 now for Valencia.
So Valencia once again leads. We're at nearly the halfway stage of this bout. Difficult to see the timing, but
I think we're around 23 seconds now. So still plenty of time. Salma Abdel Maqsood with the attack and manages to get a touch in there. It is 2 apiece now. Salma with the priority.
20 seconds to go, and it's as if this bout hasn't even started yet in terms of the score. It's still level, and Salma Abdel Maqsood has the advantage. They have to reset themselves for this final big 20 seconds, a place in the final awaits. Will it be the underdog Valencia? Will it be the local favourite Salma Abdel Maqsood, which will set up an all-Egyptian final? Either way, it is going to be intriguing. Valencia, with her coach watching on, living every movement from the sidelines. Abdelmaksud has to respond. It's a double touch. We're on 4-3, which means one more touch from Valencia here, even if it's a double touch, puts her through to the final. It's an unlikely story, but one that's unfolding in front of her very eyes here. Does she get the double touch? She does! And Valencia points to the sky with her finger raised aloft. Number 1 is what she is aiming to get now, and she's in with a good chance. She's through to the final. She's progressed right from the round of 32. What a turnaround this has been from the Guatemalan, who managed to secure just 14 wins in the seeding round. She's now through to the final with a minimum of 244 points guaranteed. They're locked away in the bank. Can she get the full 250? She's got to beat Morsi, but I would not want to face Valencia on this floor.
Yeah, I mean, she's on a roll and she's got the momentum, like you said, and it's hard to stop someone who's done that and feels that energy. And yeah, I'd say it's anyone's game at this point. Morsi, of course, hyped up by the crowd. She was on a good run as well. And here we go, the final match of the semi-final A. This is the final of the direct elimination. The winner of this bout gets 250 points with a minimum of 244 points guaranteed.
Here we go then, we're at the final of fencing. It is Morsi versus Valencia. Morsi on your right, and Valencia just continues where she left off against Salma Abdelmaksud, taking that first touch. She's catching her opponents by surprise here. This is a really, really cool story. Morsi tries to respond with the foot touch. Valencia's ready for it. She just looks like there's a force field around her, preventing opponents from defeating her. 1-0 to score with 30 seconds to go. We're into the second half of this bout now, and it's another touch for Valencia. Is it confirmed? Yes, it is. 2-0, she leads.
I think Heidi is now rethinking her strategy, trying to change up her style here. She's gone for the attack in the past with a high hand there. Valencia and Heidi now on 2-0.
Back underway we go. Valencia with 25 seconds to hold on until glory. Morsi once again mounts an attack. Valencia defending well here and turns defense into attack. And it's now 3-0. Morsi doesn't look happy, but it doesn't matter. The decision is in. And Valencia is absolutely on a charge here. Her coach so animated in the background. She's going to have gone from the round of 32 to victory as things stand, unless can Morsi find something special. Valencia once again. That touch not confirmed, so 3-0 still with 10 to go. That one, though, will go the way of Valencia. 4-0, and it's near mission impossible now for Morsi. Into the final 10 seconds, she needs 5 points without answer. This is a serious story emerging here. Valencia, the double touch, and she's done it. She has turned it around. She has done the impossible. She's gone right through from round of 32 through to victory. 250 points coolly in the pocket of Paula Valencia of Guatemala.
Yeah, I think that's going to be the story of the day, definitely, unless someone matches that in semi-final B. That was an incredible run from Valencia.
A lot of energy will have been exerted in that run. She's going to have to recover now, isn't she? Because she's going to be, don't forget, first or second heat of the obstacle. Because, of course, being lower down. Oh, no, sorry, it's not how it works, is it? Because
she's moved up now.
The scores and she's
exactly,
moved up.
Yeah.
Just keeping you on your toes there, Marion, to make sure you...
Make sure I know the rules.
Yeah, so this is the way things work now in terms of how they set up in the obstacle. It's 2 athletes per heat, and it goes by order of how they are in the overall standings. So the highest ranked athlete, Valencia, will be in the final heat alongside Morsi. So those two will stay side by side for this competition for a bit of time now. How are Heidi Morsi and Salma Abdelmaksud getting on with obstacle? Both doing well with it?
Yeah, I think Heidi's a bit quicker at the moment, but both athletes still in with a chance of a good time. I feel like it's different with each different obstacle, but
Gulgash still 5th place as well. She's in a very good position. Prampolini in 7th. Deval has dropped down to 8th place, or she climbed up to 8th place, should I say. Zuxel's dropped down to 9th place. She was the highest ranked fencer from the seeding round. She's now inside that top 10.
You can see the contrast between the 250 points she would have gotten if she maintained that position and dropped down to 218.
Keep an eye on Blanca Guzzi, by the way, a former laser run world champion. She's so fast in the laser run. I would say Blanca Guzzi is going to keep this competition interesting as we progress through. Let's take a look back at the highlights before moving on to obstacles. Welcome back to Cairo, Egypt, for the continuation of women's semi-final A, the first of the World Cup series. We go to Pazarchiknek before Budapest, a double-header in Budapest because the World Cup final is also held in Budapest. Then the World Championships moves over to China. But let's take a look at the obstacle course, making their way through to the tilting ladder. That's probably the most difficult part of the competition, but equally where you can make up a lot of time. Over, under, through leads into the flying wheels, giant steps, go into the globes. Swinging globes are brutal, by the way, aren't they?
They are. I mean, you have to balance out that upper body strength with the grip strength as well, so it's a challenging and interesting one.
Now, interesting conversation with Rebecca Langer, who is competing under the title of UIPM here at this World Championships, as she changes her nationality, but we won't go into too much detail about that. But just the conversation I had with Rebecca Langer was just telling me about how she there's always a level of nervousness for athletes going into the obstacle. Here we can see the POV then from one of the athletes' point of view. This is really, really cool footage, by the way. We put a GoPro on the head of one of the athletes here, and it just shows you the intensity of this course. Mariam, talk us through this.
Yeah, I mean, in qualifications we had a bit of an easier course, but now adding flying hoops and swinging globes into the mix is going to be maybe a challenge for some of the athletes out here. You can see this is the part where you have to balance that grip strength with the upper body strength as he propels himself up the finish wall and touches the buzzer. That is our course for today.
So there will be 9 heats based on the position of the fencing direct elimination. First up, Poppy Clark versus Jia Wu, Liv Green and Blanca Guzzi in the second heats, Yurts and Martinescu in heat 3.
Yeah, these are our bottom 6 athletes.
Aslan and Malashenica in 4. Let and Zuxel in 5. It'll be interesting to see how Zuxel's obstacle has progressed. Last year she was making that transition because, of course, last year was the first year. A lot of these athletes will have competed in obstacle. Now, the junior athletes have been doing this for a little bit longer. Some of them are better at obstacle. Let's, not beat around the bush with that. But the gap is closing.
Yeah, definitely. I think it's we said this last year, but a battle of experience versus that young energy and sheer strength that these athletes have.
Clark and Wu will be our first athletes. You can see their PBs in the top left of the screen there. Off we go. Clark on the outside, Wu on the inside. Into the tilting ladders, which is where time can be made up or lost. Good pace that though from Clark as she moves into the over under through section. Hops up into the flying hoops. This is where upper body strength and grip is so important. Clark leads. No mistakes from either athlete. Into the steps now, into those brutal swinging globes.
She skips over one there. Another one.
So Clark lands it. Final finish wall. Good pace. This could be a PB for Clark. She just scrambled at the finish wall. Hits the buzzer. Sub 6-second time. Good start from both those athletes. And I think they'll both be happy with those times. Clark, the stronger of the two.
Yeah, good stuff there, and good opening heat for this. I mean, it's good when you have athletes that don't make mistakes, at least if the time's a bit over, but you don't take that risk. I mean, this is either you get into the final or you don't, so one mistake could get you eliminated.
If you're down in heat one, you have to give everything, don't you? You can't afford to be careful. You've got to take risks.
I think it's a mix of both, maybe. I think so.
Two of the most experienced athletes out there, Green and Guzzi. And away we go into the big wheel. Tilting ladders. Good pace by both of them, good momentum. Guzzi's strong through there. And Guzzi's got time to make up. She's a quick laser runner, and she could be dangerous with a clean run here through the obstacles. Takes a little bit of time on that first.
Yeah, she's going to have to keep with that momentum into the big steps. She goes.
So now into the swinging globes. 1, 2, lands it. Solid time this from Guzzi, looking to go sub 37 maybe. Yes, she does. Strong finish. What about Green though? She's still in the globes. Green's been working so hard in her obstacle in the closed season. Up the finish wall she goes, just giving it everything, and needs to hit that buzzer. It's 52 seconds, and Olivia Green really just pushing herself up the finish wall there, giving everything. I'm not sure it's going to be enough to progress her through the semi-finals. Olivia Green doing her best there.
I mean, never say never. We still have the swimming to come next, and we're going to go over the point system with the swimming as we come to it. But heat 3 is on the blocks now.
Guzzi was fairly solid.
Yeah, good time there from Guzzi.
Thank you, Omar.
Up next then, we've got Yurt versus Martinescu. No hanging about, we're straight into... Oh, full there from Martinescu. Big hit on the back there, but she seems okay. She's gone back round. So first one in there, we stick with Yurt now. And the Yurt sisters are solid, by the way, at obstacle. Into the flying hoops then for Anna Yurt. Lands well into the giant steps. Through now to the globes. Solid this from Yurt, who's got that technique nailed, skipping out one globe, making her way through. This will be the fastest time so far. Anna Yurt, finish wall, buzzer, sub 36 seconds. Solid that from Yurt. Martinescu having to recover after that early fall. It could have taken the wind out of her, that, but she's recovered well. And actually still not a bad time. It's going to be tough to qualify from that position. One mistake can really affect you in this competition. And at a time of 50.47, Yurt goes over to check on her opponent, which is good sportsmanship. And down the ladder they go. Yurt in provisional first place on 5.46.
Oof, that was a bit rough, I think, for the Italian athlete. She's going to have to maybe make up some more time in the pool. We're going to see how that goes. But yeah, 1 second of the obstacle course translates into 3 points. Every second you go faster, you get 3 extra points added to your name.
Aslan versus Malashenica. Off we go. Malashenica, bronze medalist here in Cairo last year. A different venue at the American University of Cairo last year. Good start that from Aslan, who shoots through those tilting ladders and keeping good pace through the over-under through into the flying hoops. This is how it should be done, Aslan. But Malashenica coming back strong here. Loses a bit of time in that middle hoop, but she really carried that speed in. Into the globes then. Malashenica finishing strong here. This is not a bad run at all from either athlete. Landed in by Aslan. This could well be our fastest time. All the athletes losing a little bit of time on that finish wall. And in the end, it's a time of 37.8. Malashenica clambering up. Buzzer in sight, and she gets it. Athletes losing quite a bit of time on the finish wall, aren't they?
Yeah, I think this course is a bit tough, and so they exert all
Exhausted
that.
by that point.
Yeah, by the finish wall, their upper body strength is used up, I guess. So Cicelle
Ilka Züksel, our next battle in the midfield bouts. Now, all eyes on Züksel, because Züksel's PB of 35 seconds would be a solid time for her in this competition and would give her that springboard. She's currently in 9th place overall, so she's okay.
She's in the top 9.
She's in the top 9. Züksel doesn't want to overdo things here, doesn't want to make a mistake, nervy moments here, because one mistake, competition done.
Yeah, exactly. So
Technical delay, we're being told, so we'll just wait to see what that technicality is. Could be something maybe to do with one of the finish buzzers. Red flags at the end of the course. So here we go, we're underway. Lerna Züksel. Züksel with the early lead in for tilting ladders. She looks good as Züksel, I must say. The work that she's put in nearly overdoes it in the overwall there, but it's good stuff, great pace. She seems very, very keen to get through this. Züksel flying noticeably faster from last year. Really good paces from Ilka Züksel, who just looks like an obstacle athlete now, doesn't she? Good time from Züksel, and this is dangerous for the rest of the field, by the way. Züksel has really improved an obstacle. Finish wall, buzzer in sight. 35 seconds for Züksel. That is a solid time. That should see Züksel now, who's not necessarily the quickest swimmer, but is incredibly quick in laser run, could see her in the final. With the time what we expected, around 49 seconds, looks a bit frustrated, but Züksel now moves up into 1st place provisionally. Solid time. I'm so impressed by Ilka Züksel.
I'm so impressed by Ilka Züksel. As you said, she worked on her fencing. She came out on 1st, even though she didn't do that well in the elimination round, but still, you give some, you take some, and yeah, good obstacle run by her.
The one medal missing from Ilka Züksel's collection is an Olympic medal, and
yep.
no, she really wants that. It's looking good for qualification. As things stand, Deval and Prampolini. Prampolini's been working hard in obstacle as well. They all been working hard. I mean, I'm stating the obvious here, but yeah, Prampolini obviously was a rider, as they all were. As a new mother. Oh, and Deval there with the mistake.
He's gonna go back and have to redo that obstacle, but Prampolini going well here.
Into the flying hoops. Takes a big swing of momentum into that first hoop. This, by the way, in my opinion, probably the hardest part of the course. Just really got to focus and keep that upper body strength. Good time this. It's not going to be the fastest time by a stretch of the imagination, but it's all about getting inside that top 9, and this is Prampolini's. Ooh, she's losing grip on those swinging glutes. You've got to keep the momentum going, haven't you? And Prampolini doing well, by the way, not to drop. This will be absolute agony on those hands.
You can feel how hard this is just by watching their faces.
By the way. Oh, she makes it through. Solid that from Prampolini. She couldn't afford a mistake there. Oh, no, she's gone down the finish wall. So Prampolini has to reset. Deval has made her way back up, clambering up. The exhaustion that these athletes are feeling now is there for everyone to see. Big upper body strength from Prampolini. Deval gets a time of 67. Prampolini, a great example of perseverance there. 73 seconds. She collapses down. The emotion of the moment perhaps just setting in. Reni Prampolini. We'll see how that affects the overall standings. It was a good start by both athletes, apart from that mistake there from Deval.
I mean, it's tough watching them. Some of these athletes make it look easy, but I guarantee it's not.
Great replay that, by the way.
Yeah.
I mean, just perhaps her grip on this competition slipping away there. Prampolini is down to 12th place.
Yeah, Guyash and Yurt in the field. Yurt has to redo that. Oh,
well,
it's a slip up.
Early mistake from Yurt. Worth pointing out as well, Guyash, by the way, recovering from injury. I think there's no secret that she broke her wrist on the obstacle course.
Yeah.
But has recovered well. And listen, she's an Olympic champion, and she is also a World Cup gold medalist since obstacle has been introduced into the sport. I must say she looks a little bit slower than she did last season, perhaps, and that's not surprising, given she's making her way back from injury, but she's now fully fit, and up the finish wall. Buzzer. Solid time that from both athletes. Great recovery from Katarina Yurt, who had that early mistake. Both those two, I think, will be in the final.
Yeah, I think so. I think both these athletes are good laser runners and put in a pretty solid time. I wouldn't say it's the fastest time.
The sisters cannot keep away from themselves in this competition, can they?
Sticking together till the end. Hopefully into the finals for them as well.
The tension is building here as we make our way into the penultimate bout. Oliver and Abdul Maqsood. Here we go. Now, to me, it seems like the Egyptians have just really excelled in obstacle. Is that fair to say? Is it something that's worked on hard in this country?
Yeah, I think most of these athletes are young and they're fast and they're challenging those senior athletes, which we've seen across the years. Selma's doing well here as she propels herself to the last flying hoop there. Lost a bit of momentum, but gets on into the big steps.
Salma Abdul Maqsood now into the globes, and Oliver's done well, by the way. She's actually made her way back in. It's great to see how these athletes are just getting quicker and quicker. The more senior athletes, that is. Salma Abdul Maqsood with a bit of rough landing with that carrying momentum through. Good upper body strength in the final part of the finish wall. And there we go. The times are 45.5 and 47 there. Abdul Maqsood and Oliver move into 5th and 7th place respectively. Azuxal still out in the lead. So Paula Sofia Valencia Franco versus Heidi Morsi. Pentathlon running, the UIPM running the Obstacle World Championships last year in Beijing, China. Great to see the obstacle athletes competing at the highest level. That's the level that these pentathlon athletes will strive to get to. Morsi versus Valencia.
Good stuff there from Morsi, over, under, through. And Valencia following close by.
Morsi just looks like the complete athlete these days, doesn't she? Good strength through those flying hoops, but loses quite a bit of time and momentum in that middle hoop. She's done well to keep it going, but lost quite a bit of time there. Something to work on for Morsi. Just you have to keep the speed going, don't you? As soon as you slow down, you lose the momentum and you lose the swing, and that's where it can be difficult. Morsi, final finish wall. I think as things stand, Ilka Azuxal's going to lead. Buzzer from both athletes at a similar time. It's a 43 for Morsi as for Valencia. 315 points for Morsi, 314 for Valencia. So Valencia continues with her lead, and that, by the way, is a remarkable story. How heading towards swimming, Valencia has gone pretty much from last to first. I mean, not quite. She was 15th in the seeding round, but how far can Valencia go? The Guatemalan team have turned out their numbers to watch from the stands. They're as intrigued as we are. Valencia flying the Guatemalan flag high. A wonderful nation as well, by the way. I love the Guatemala.
Beautiful
so
country,
friendly,
beautiful nature.
Country. Charles Fernandez, a former Guatemalan pentathlete, was an Olympian. Sofia Hernandez, who hasn't qualified for semi-finals, is watching in the crowd just in front of us here in the commentary position. Another Guatemalan Olympian. And let's have a look at the standings. And these are your results in terms of who was fastest in obstacle. These aren't your overall standings, but you can see Ilka Azuxal, who, by the way, was struggling a little bit with obstacle last year, has now turned up at the first event of the year and gone, I'm going to finish top. I mean, that is an ominous sign for the rest of the field. Ilka Azuxal, in my opinion, is a favourite for a medal here in Cairo if she can continue this rich vein of form. But it's a tough field, by the way, isn't it? A really tight field. Let's look further down and see who potentially Morsi and Malashenica. I mean, these aren't the standings, these are just the results of obstacles, so really we can't tell too much because we need to see the standings to see who is going to be competing in that battle for the top 9.
I think we can get confirmation on the final standings.
Are you checking out the UIPM app?
Yep.
UIPM app available to and there we can see them. Mariam has found them, and we'll see them a moment officially in a second, but Valencia, Morsi, Azuxal, Guyesh in the top 4, Yurt, Oliver, Aslan and Guzi. Let's take a check back at the highlights end of obstacle, and then we'll begin our coverage with the build up to the swimming. So here we go then, folks. The competition continues with the swimming discipline. 100-meter freestyle, reduced from 200 meters from the previous editions of this World Cup action. Competition leaders go into the final heats in first place. There will, of course, be 3 heats, Mariam, and you are an expert on how the new points system works. So we're going to get you to explain this. Now, there is, by the way, a little bit of a gap in this venue. You've trained here your whole life. This is a venue which you are more familiar with than, I would say, 98% of the people in population here. Give us your backstory with this venue and explain how it works in terms of getting from here to the pool.
Yeah, so it's a bit of a, I'd say you can walk that distance, but I'd say the athletes will be taking the bus probably. And yeah, it's a bit of a gap, it's a bit of a walk there if you are to walk. But yeah, I'm pretty familiar with this pool. I've trained in it, I've competed in it my whole life, ever since I was 11, I guess. So yeah, it kind of touches home for me.
Let's hear more about this in a moment's time, but who better to tell us what this transition is like than the athletes themselves? We've been out and had a chat with some of those athletes. Let's hear from them now.
I think going from obstacle to swimming, it's almost a little bit similar because it is both upper body. The obstacle, you just have to make sure that your hands are okay. Sometimes if you ripped, and make sure that you're transitioning well and feeling good for the swim, and then staying warm but not too stressed with like your muscles and stuff like that. Trying to get into your tech suit quickly and then get focused back on the swim, whether the obstacle went well or poorly.
So between obstacles and swimming, I make sure to try not to be too stressed, especially mentally. Like do it quickly, but do it calmly in a way, and then prepare myself for swimming, and also again try to stay calm, but still be quick because the transition is very quick. And then I try to get more into the mentality of swimming, and maybe have a little snack as well if there's time. And then also start with a bit of a physical warm-up just to get the muscles prepared for swimming, because it's a little bit different to obstacles, but there's not much time, so yeah, whatever fits.
I do like to shake out my arms a lot. I do like to try to lose the tension I got from the obstacles, because it's a lot of work in the upper body. And yeah, so just try to like loosen it up, shake it off, and whether it went good or not, just try to refocus on the next discipline.
There is a change from swimming from 200 meters to 100 meters. Of course, there is a big change in training, but also in competition it's much shorter, which I personally prefer, and it's quite a lot of fun as well.
So now that the swim has gone from 200 to 100 meters, I think it's a little bit more power and explosivity. So just kind of focusing on making sure the technique is really good and making sure that everything is tight and smooth and fast, rather than having to go for a little bit longer.
I feel like I'm a bit fresher after the 100 meter than I was after the 200 meters, but I feel like that might change in the future as well.
For me personally, I like the 100 more than the 200, since yeah, the 200 is more like you said, longer. But you have to be very careful to not go too lactic, since you have to have the laser run later, and try to have a good speed, try to push, and then just get away with a good time, but not too tired.
So views then from the pool ahead of the semi-final A swimming event.
Let's get back into it, because we were talking just before we went to that VT about this venue. Sell it to us, because we, for the previous few years, have been at the University of Cairo, which is excellent facilities. These also excellent facilities, and a big part of Egyptians' path into pentathlon, isn't it?
Yeah, I think this pool has carried many athletes into making history, whether in swimming or in pentathlon. the older generation. The president of our national federation, Coach Siri Fenarian, was also an athlete swimming in this pool at one point in time. So yeah, it just carries a lot of memories. It carries a lot of hurt as well. But yeah, it's just, I don't know, it just gives me happy vibes being here.
When you walk through the entrance doors into the pool, there's two athletes, one on the left, one on the right. The athlete on the left is your husband, Ahmed El-Gendi, with his silver medal from Tokyo around his neck. He's since upgraded that medal to a gold
in Paris.
In Paris. It doesn't feel right to not ask you about what life has been like since the Paris 2024 Olympics. You've both become global superstars. You are now two of the most famous people in Egypt, with huge social media followings. Tell us about what life's like, Mariam.
I mean, it's great. Ahmed has taken this time to, you know, just work on himself, take time off of the sport, really get to know who he is. I mean, at some point, these athletes will all think of their time as athletes as a thing of the past, and they're going to have to move on and carry through that passion to developing their careers. So
this is the modest answer. Mariam walks through the grounds, people stop her for photos. She is a celebrity alongside your king, Ahmed El-Gendi, who is you're the king and queen of these events.
I think that's an overstatement, but yeah, I think it's just been fun. You know, people look up to him, and it's just very inspiring to be. I think it's almost kind of intimidating as well, because you have to live up to that and you have to take inspiration from that every day. But yeah, I'm incredibly proud of the person he is, the athlete he is, and yeah, it's been great since the Olympics, not gonna lie.
You are Ahmed El-Gendi's biggest hype person in the world. You are a big part of that gold that sat around his neck in Paris. I know just how much work you put into helping him along the way, and I'm sure his family and your family are very grateful for everything you do for him and for your friends and family. Anyway, let's move the story on back to the competition. We're in the transition stage now. Of course, swimming has changed this year.
Yeah.
It's half
it's a big
the length.
Change.
It's a massive change.
It is.
Like half the length. Talk to us about that.
It's 100 meters. So again, a totally different strategy in terms of training, in terms of the lactic acid and the energy exerted. I mean, it's less distance, but you're going to have to put in a better pace, which means more lactic acid building up, but again, the advantage of getting more points added to your name. So it is 100 meters, but now the scoring points have changed.
This
so
is the
1
interesting
second,
point, isn't it?
yeah, 1 second of swimming is equivalent to 5 points, which means every second you go quicker, you get 5 extra points, which is big numbers. I mean, if you're 2 seconds away, if I'm 2 seconds faster than you, James, then I get 10 points added to my name, which is huge.
And for context, the difference between first and second in the fencing direct elimination is 6 points.
Yeah.
So that's 5 bouts of fencing potentially.
Yeah.
This is 1 second is 5 points. So swimming, arguably now,
big points, massive changes.
A big say in, because I think.
Yeah, I think it was overlooked in the past.
Right.
Yeah.
Athletes were coasting for swimming, weren't they?
Yeah.
Now they have to fly.
And here's the thing.
I love this, by the way.
Me too, honestly. I think it's maybe bridging the gap a bit, but also the point system has made it interesting. So from point O to point 2, that's 1 second, and every 20 millisecond is
Point O to point 2 is 1 point.
Is
right?
1 point.
Yeah,
What did I say?
1
second.
It's
Okay,
confusing.
1 point.
Listen, you're doing a brilliant job of explaining this. I'm learning, sat next to you.
So it's a 0.2 of a second, or like the milliseconds make a difference now in points, in terms of points.
It is a lot to bring ourselves up to speed with. The headline, and just simplifying what Mariam has explained in great detail for us there. Essentially, swimming is half the length and is worth more points. So what athletes can do is, I mean, they have to, it's a flat-out sprint, basically, isn't it? It's like a 100-meter sprint. Think of like, 100 meters at the Olympics, where it's like, bang, give it everything.
It's a different technique as well with the swimming. I think with the 200 meters, a lot of the athletes would go for more shoulder, I don't know, less upper body and more just endurance in terms of training as well. So it's a whole different story this 100 meters.
These are the athletes then from swimming heat 1. Malashenica, Lea, Martinescu, Green, Deval and Prampolini, who are trying to find their way up into those top 9 positions. And it's interesting seeing these times now, because swimming has been 200 meters for the whole time I've covered this sport, which is now, I'm into the 8th season of. So my point being, this is a dramatic change, and it's something that's going to take a little bit of getting used to, because we're looking at the times now, and we always used to talk about the best time being sub 2 minutes. Now we're talking about the best time being sub 1 minute. It's like, this is a sprint, not a marathon.
So let me simplify things for you. So Valentina Martinescu scored a 58-second swim in the qualifications, and she's in heat 1, which means she's in the bottom 6. But then she's, how many seconds is it? Almost 10 seconds faster than Anna Yurt in heat number 3.
And explain that in points. That's 50.
That's 50 points. 50 seconds she can make up.
Wow.
So she can jump into the top 6 just like that.
We used to, we'd be like, swimming's like, it's done now. Like, we know who's going to be starting where. This is where a slow swimming time is going to burn through those points.
Dramatically, I think.
The athletes that struggle with swimming, and there are some athletes, they're going to really have to work hard. Here we go. The first swimming heat of the 2026 season is underway. And at the front of our screen is Prampolini, I believe, in lane 6. We've got Deval in 5, Green, Martinescu, Lea and Malashenica. And bear in mind, folks, this is a 50-meter pool, so there's just 2 laps.
Yeah.
So we're nearly at the halfway stage already.
And you can see
Green is in a good position here, I think. Is it Green that takes the early advantage? Looks like it's Green. So Green has the lead in lane 4. So it's 6 at the front of us. No, it's Martinescu. I think we're just trying to work out the position of the lanes here. So it's Martinescu, unsurprisingly, she had the quickest qualification PB. So Martinescu flying out in front. Look how quick this time is, by the way. Her PB was 58 seconds, and we're seeing a new generation of swimmers. How close to that 58 seconds can she get? It's sub 1 minute, not close. We'll see in a moment when the confirmed times come up. But every second worth 5 points. This is massive here.
Yeah, that was an excellent swim by Martinescu, and I think that's going to shoot her up the rankings.
So we don't have privilege to the times here until they flash up on the screen. So we'll wait for the official confirmation. But it's all about time. It's not about where you finish. It's not about position. It doesn't matter if you finish 3rd or 4th. As long as you're going as fast as you physically can is the point here, isn't it?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, I'm so intrigued by this swim. I think
this is so good, by the way.
This is. I mean, it's so exciting now. Swimming, I think we kind of lost interest in swimming for a while, but now I think it's, one of the more important disciplines.
We don't have the official times, but what we can tell you is that Martinescu got the quickest time. It was sub 1 minute. Let's go straight into the start list then of the second swimming heat. Oliver in lane 1, Aslan in lane 2, Guzzi in 3, Abdul Maqsood in 4, Clark in 5, and Wu in 5th. And Mariam, as she's so good at finding these times, has brought up the unofficial times, which gives us Martinescu just over 1 on 1.018. 3 seconds further back was Green, Malashenica, Prampolini, Deval and Les. So Les 6 seconds, and in terms of points, that's 34 points difference, which is wild.
Yeah, that's
300 points for a minute, basically, isn't it?
Yeah.
Cool, I love this. So, swimming heat 2.
Yeah, fastest time of day is Martinescu.
Do you know what? Like, it's a dip in the pool, this, isn't it? You have to go from the main arena here, the obstacle arena, to the pool, get changed, jump in the pool, jump out, and get back for the laser run. It's so, like, the transitions is the hidden 6th discipline of pentathlon, even more so now. So we're underway with swimming heat 2.
so much faster than it was last season, and it is very exciting.
Lane 1 is at the front of your screen. Apologies for that mistake in the first seat. So it's 1 Oliver in the front of the screen. As Lan, Gouzi, Abdelmaksoud, Clark, and Wu. And I mean, look at the difference there between, say, for example, Clark and Gouzi.
Yeah.
So in lane 3, Gouzi leads at the turn. The 30-second mark is what they're all going to be aiming for. We don't have official times for you, but we can tell you, and it is all about the times, this, by the way. So who wins, it doesn't matter. If Gouzi touches the wall first, but she's got a time of 20, for example, then it's a slow heat, isn't it? So we'll need the times to really build up the hype, but it is going to be Gouzi who wins the heats. Alongside her, Salma Abdelmaksoud, but we don't have the official times. We will refer to the UIPM app, which if you're watching at home, I strongly advise you to download. It is a really cool app and will give you live, unofficial scores, but they are usually pretty close to being spot on. And that is the conclusion of swimming heat 2, but unfortunately we don't have the times, so we can't give you exactly how they've got on.
Yeah, but the thing is with the 100 meters, I'll go back to the technicalities of things. Given that it is 100 meters, you're going to lose so much time on the start block, and you're going to lose so much time on the turns if you don't get them right.
This is what we talk about with fast and slow pools. The start block is a factor of the fast pool.
Definitely.
How's this pool that says a slow pool?
You say it's a slow pool?
Well, 50-meter pool for a start, so that 25-meter pools are usually a bit quicker. I don't know about the start blocks, but what do you think?
No, I mean like the push over the start blocks. As we see heat 3 up on your screen, it is Guatemala. These are our top 6 athletes, by the way. So these are the ones leading the charge. Valencia in 1, Morsi in 2, Zuxel in 3, Gulyash in 4.
We have the times on the app, by the way, if you were curious. Blanca Gouzi with a time of 1:02. So here is the difference. 1:02 for Blanca Gouzi in second place, Valentina Martinescu in first place. The point difference is 11 points.
Yeah.
11 points between first and second. These are this is an absolute game changer.
Yeah, agreed. I mean, now people are going to have to...
The sport has changed a lot through this, and I love it. I realise that...
I think it's a positive change as well.
Agreed. There will be athletes who will be frustrated with this, no doubt, because there's some athletes who are not as good at swimming as the others, and they are now really having to, and it's a hard discipline to improve on, isn't it? Because it's very much about the construction, the biology of your body, which is what makes you a fast swimmer.
Yeah.
You can't go from like 1:05 to 1 in like a 3-month transition.
Yeah, definitely not. No, yeah, it's a multifactorial sport, and I think swimming, as you said, is one of the hardest to improve on.
But talk to us about the lactic acid as well, because the lactic acid carries from swimming into laser run. Is that going to be more of a factor now, or less so because it's a shorter swim?
Actually, shorter swims means more sprinting, and more sprinting means more lactic acid.
So lactic acid high impact from obstacle into swimming into laser run. Pentathlon just got harder.
Yeah, I think it's getting harder by the season. These athletes at the halfway mark.
Swimming heat 3. Valencia in lane 1 is off to a solid start. Morsi, Zuxel, Gouyash, Yurt and Yurt. And it blink and you miss it. It is absolutely frantic stuff, this, and I love it. Valencia in lane 1, I think, has the lead. We'll bring you the official times at the end of this routine. Not much between Valencia and Gouyash. Gouyash, we know, is a quick swimmer. She's been holding back the last couple of seasons, by the way, Gouyash, in terms of swimming.
Yeah.
But this is a quick time from Gouyash, who needs to make up the time because she's fallen back a little bit. Thoughts?
Yeah, I'm a bit surprised that Valencia did top out the swim heat, but again, I think different tactics.
Right?
Yeah.
Where's Valencia found that pace from?
Yeah, maybe she held off in the qualifications. We never know.
Valencia is absolutely like
she's on fire today.
Smashing this. We are seeing one of the stories of, well, I was going to say stories of the season. This is the first semi-final of the so it is the story of the season. I mean, we can say that with a degree of certainty. Waiting for those official times, or unofficial times as they are, to come through. Martinescu currently leads swimming. Overall standings would put Guzzi in first place ahead of Abdul Maqsood. And I did say keep an eye on Guzzi, by the way.
She's moved up.
She's in first place.
Yeah.
I mean, Guzzi.
You still have 6 more athletes, though, but yeah.
It's true.
But she's in the top 9 at least. So we know she's at least 7th.
Guzzi's, I'm going to just say this now. Guzzi's in the final.
Yeah, agreed. I think that's a safe bet.
No, the scores have now updated. So, overall standings put Paula Sofia Valencia Franco in first place, Azuxel in second, and the gap between those two is 12 seconds. Guyash is up into third, Guzzi's in fourth. Yeah, I mean the two Hungarians.
Yeah.
Who, by the way, those two are fun to watch. Blanka Guzzi and Michelle Guyash when they're going toe-to-toe. So we have the unofficial results, which we're going to give you. We're going to try to give you now, which puts Paula Sofia Valencia Franco up in first place, Ilka Azuxel in second, Michelle Guyash in third, Blanka Guzzi in fourth, Salma Abdul Maqsood in fifth, Katharina Yurt in sixth, Aslan in seventh, Malashenko in eighth, Morsi in ninth. And the gap between 9th and 10th, unofficially, but we will confirm shortly, is 7 seconds. And then there is a big group of athletes who will be putting pressure on those top 9 positions. We will see them shortly. In fact, there they are. Those are the scores, and they were, as we mentioned, those are your top 6. But it's that battle for 9th that we want to get stuck into, because that is really where semi-finals is unique in this sport. It's a unique product that television audiences around the world, I'm sure you're enjoying, because it all comes down to who can get in the top 9. It's that battle for 9th and 10th that we really are going to focus on. Malashenko and Wu, and it was indeed a 7-second gap. And look, Yurt, Martinescu, all not too far off. Anna Yurt, keep an eye on her. She's a strong laser runner. She's dropped down 5 positions after the swimming, but she will be putting pressure on those top 9. Poppy Clark in 13th. Catherine Myron Oliver in 14th is another quick runner. I mean, Olivia Green, she's got a bit of time to try to make up, but nothing is done and dusted yet, and that's what we love about pentathlon. Those are your scores and your standings. And guess what, folks? It gets even more exciting with the new improved laser run coming up next. We're going to watch back the highlights of the swimming, and then we'll boil up to laser run. It's time now to build up to conclusion of women's semi-final A, and it is going to be an intriguing so let's take a look at how the new laser run takes place. 5 visits to the shooting range, which is of course different to the previous years. It was 4 shooting range visits. Yeah. This is going to change things as well. Tell the folks watching at home what you were telling me a moment ago about the stronger shooters benefiting early on in the race. Yeah, so you have around 30 meters from the start line to the shooting range, and that's not enough time for most of the athletes to get that adrenaline out before they have to go to the shooting range, and you'll see some of those nervous mistakes showing up in that first shooting series. And I think the stronger shooters and the ones with more control over their nerves are the ones that are going to prevail in that first shoot. And yeah, I think it's just interesting to see that come back after we having like a formation lap for so long. Yeah, it's just interesting to see how that's going to change up things in the laser run. What do you know about Paula Sofia Valencia Franco's laser run? Like, she's pretty solid. Okay. She's not one of the fastest, but she is pretty solid. I think with a good shoot here, I think, well, she's
12 seconds off from second place, and she is 38 seconds in the lead. So 38 seconds off of 9th place. So she has a bit of room for error. She's probably going to practice that for the finals, but I think she's a safe bet to say she's into the finals.
Now, what we do in pentathlon, or have done historically, is we cap the handicap at 1 minute 30. So what we mean by that is the athlete who starts in first place, Paula Sofia Valencia Franco, she's on 851 points, so let's call her 0.
Yeah.
Second place, Ilka Zuksal's on 839 points, 12 points behind Paula.
Yeah.
We call that 12 seconds, so that's a 12-second gap. So the points then turn into seconds.
Exactly.
So essentially, Valencia has 0. Zuksal's 12 seconds behind, so she'll start 12 seconds behind Valencia. Guyash 13 points behind, therefore she'll start 13 seconds behind, and so on and so forth. It's capped at 1:30.
Yep.
That doesn't change the standings, it's just because otherwise if someone's 4 minutes behind, then we're going to be waiting 4 minutes at the end of the race. So we cap at 1:30 and then you add the time at the end. Now, we call this the miracle of Pazajic. Last year, in the second World Cup of the season in Bulgaria, Ilka Zuksal pulled off a miracle. She started beyond 1 minute 30, so it was obviously capped at 1 minute 30. You follow me here? She's capped at 1:30, and it was like she was like 2 minutes 15 behind 9th place. She won the heat overall and qualified in 9th place. It was probably one of the most exciting moments I saw in pentathlon, bar perhaps maybe Michelle Guish and Ahmed Al-Gandhi winning gold in Paris.
Yeah, Ilka's laser run is insane, and I think that extra shooting might actually go her way, which is even more scary for the rest of the field.
One interesting thing is watching the athletes practicing their shooting, because they usually nail it. They'll go to the shooting range and they'll shoot 5 out of 5 in 10 seconds less, and it's easy to them. Then you drop them in the competition mode where they're exhausted from having done the previous 4 disciplines, or 3 disciplines, sorry. They are nervous because the camera's on them, the crowd are watching. Their hands are shaking, they've got their competitors next to each other. It all changes in that moment. You can be a fantastic shooter, but it's how you deal with pressure that really makes champions, isn't it?
I think we said transitions is the 6th discipline, and then you have the added pressure and the nerves kicking in, and that's the 7th.
When you break it down, pentathlon's about 20 disciplines.
Basically, yeah. I think the mentally strong athletes are the ones that prevail at the end. I think, for example, Ahmed Al-Gandhi, for me, he wasn't 100% physically ready for the Olympics as the other athletes were, given his injury.
He dislocated his shoulder months, like what?
2 months,
3 months before the Olympics. And I remember that moment well, because
it was. I think everyone was floored at that second. Yeah, it was.
We
all scary.
thought that was the end of the dream, didn't we?
Yeah, it was.
And it was sad to see, but it has a happy ending. But your point there is
the mental strength.
Right.
I think it was his win at the Olympics was definitely more of a mental thing than I'd say physically ready.
But he didn't just win that final; he absolutely smashed it, didn't he? And there was a moment in riding. We're
veering off here.
We're going off subject a little bit. It's not off subject because it's such a monumental moment in this sport. Michelle Guyash as well, similar story, and actually Elodie Clivel.
Yeah.
I mean, that was one of the stories of the Olympics. Many of us wept that day. We cried. Because
it was so inspiring, and so it just, you've grown up with these athletes, you've commentated for these athletes for a very long time, so you've seen their ups and downs.
Well, and just to go on the Elodie Clivel thing, she was struggling so much with the shooting that year. We documented that in a documentary. We followed her all year. Her shooting was beyond salvation.
Yeah.
She lost the ability to shoot. It's called yips in psychological terms, isn't it? And somehow she overcame that at the highest stage. It was fantastic to see. So the mental side of this, let's bring it round beautifully here. The mental side of this sport has actually gone up a notch, because now you have to shoot as soon as the race begins.
Yeah.
And there's no time to shake off those nerves. There's no formation lap. There's no easy. It's from a viewing perspective, it's more fun than ever.
Yeah, I think the media side of the sport has constantly been developing, and I think right now we've reached the pinnacle. I think this is really good TV, honestly. I think people watching back home, families, even the athletes watching themselves back, it's just a fun sport to watch now.
If you're an athlete, it's brutal, though.
It is. It is, but in many ways, I think the pros have swayed to the athletes that thought that they weren't as good. Let's say swimming, for example, 100 meters is more fast, but at the same time, it's less work in terms of training than it is the 200 meters and the endurance that comes with that.
Now, what you can say is the sport's obviously changing and developing, but equally the athletes are changing and developing with it, and I think Michelle Guyesh is a good example of it. Ilka Zexel is a good example of that. They're currently in second and third in semi-final A.
I think it's all about adaptability in the sport. I mean, it's changing constantly, and yeah, the athletes are able at this point to get up to speed. Some of the other athletes aren't, and that's proving to be a challenge. But again, it just comes with time, and it comes with practice. As we see the athletes in the range now, final shooting. Training options there.
Sport is ever changing, and it's not just pentathlon rules change, like Formula One, for example. The rules change regularly. When you look back at how pentathlon was 5 years ago, for example, for Tokyo, well, for a start, there was a different sport involved. The 5 disciplines were different. The disciplines were standalone events where spaced out with big gaps in the middle.
Yeah.
I must admit I like this because it just keeps everything. If you're a viewer watching from home, as our audience now are, you watch everything in front of your very eyes in a condensed time frame, which is kind of like the highlight show, but like live.
Yeah, exactly. I think it's. I think if you told me 5 years ago that this would be modern pentathlon, I wouldn't believe you. Just because it's pushing the limits of what we thought was humanly possible for an athlete to achieve, and they've shown up and they're doing it right in front of our eyes. So it's.
And that's a good point because these athletes are superhuman. I mean, we watch Olympic sports. We see running, we see swimming, we see fencing, we see shooting, we see. I mean, obstacle will now be in the Olympic Games as part of pentathlon, so it's not a standalone. But you get my point. And all these athletes are phenomenal because they're good at what they do. But these athletes are good. Great shot that, by the way. These athletes are good at everything. They're good at all. You have to be good at 5 disciplines. Not just good. You have to be exceptional at 5 disciplines. It's truly remarkable, and it's everything that Pierre de Coubertin, the founder of the modern Olympics, envisaged with this sport, with this brand of Olympics.
Yeah, definitely. And I think that's why we do have a lot of athletes and a lot of up-and-coming athletes, but as opposed to other sports such as swimming, for example, our numbers are a lot less. And this is because we're a rare animal to find. I mean, these athletes they have to be incredibly good at every single discipline, or at least have that balance, which is very hard to find in an individual. So, yeah, I just think they're true gems, rare ones.
Moment to reflect upon what is about to happen, and this is the first World Cup of the year. It's an intriguing moment because I think we start to see some of the more experienced athletes stepping things up again. You see, like we mentioned her earlier, Rebecca Lange is really starting to step things up because she wants another Olympic Games in her collection. Everybody wants an Olympic medal. Everybody wants a ticket to the Olympics. Yeah. Those are the 2 biggest. That's your box ticket. A World Championship medal, an Olympic appearance, and an Olympic medal. Those are your 3, the biggest. But it's a process, and a World Cup medal is part of that. It's rare someone will do one of those things without having taken a World Cup medal along the way.
True, I think, you've got to prove. Like, it's not a one-off thing. Pentathlon doesn't happen on purpose. By chance. They're going to have to work hard for it, and that shows up through those medals. So
well, and there's also like confidence of having done it before, muscle memory in that heat at the moment. We talk about the pressurized situation. If you've won multiple World Cup medals, you know that you can deal with that pressure. It doesn't always work like that. So, for example, Shaba Boom, male athlete, Hungarian, won World Cup final gold, World Championship gold, heading into Paris Olympic Games. Didn't have a good day. That can happen too, by the way, as well.
Yeah, that's true. That's the other side of sport. Not many people talk about.
It's luck. Like sometimes, like it used to be with the horse. If you got a horse that wasn't cooperating, Olympics gone. But then equally, the good riders dealt with that. Like Ahmed struggled with his riding in semi-finals.
Yeah, that was crazy. That was that was a moment none of us want to remember, honestly. But yeah, luck does happen in sports, definitely. I think more than luck, it's more of how your body's doing, how your training's been doing, how your mental state is, and there's so many moving parts that you need everything to be aligned on that one day, and it just might not happen.
Who's that wearing the...
I think it's Sid Al Aslan of Turkey. We have another red cap in the field.
We do, a rival red cap, but I didn't think Michelle was wearing hers.
I think she's saving it for the finals, maybe.
Maybe. Pulls out the lucky red hat for, well, hopefully from Michelle Guish's point of view, be another medaling event. Valencia is currently leading the field, having had a phenomenal competition from Valencia so far.
Yeah, I think it's safe to say that she is one of the stories of the day as of yet. We have semi-final B to come.
But then listen, we've spoken about athletes' journeys multiple times in the past and how they can start with, I mean, it happened a lot with Elodie Clivel in the Olympic year. She would start with like a 1 minute lead and then not make it through to the final. There is a lot that can still go wrong, sorry to say. You've got
no, but it's true. It is true.
Equally, there's a lot that can still go right. I mean, look, Irene Prampolini is probably going to struggle to qualify, but it's not impossible. Olivia Green in 16th place, 1 minute 16. She's only, I say only, but she's just about 30 seconds off of 9th place. That's not impossible.
No, not at all. I mean, again, we've added one more shooting to the mix, so anything can happen here. The athletes are making their way to the start-finish line now, and it's going to start to get nervy.
Here is your start list for the first Laser On broadcast of the 2026 season. Valencia leads Zuxel by 12 seconds. Guyash and Gouzi in 3rd and 4th place. Abdul Maqsood in 5th. Yurt a little bit further down with 33 seconds, a gap between her and 1st place. We're going to focus now on 9th place because this is the athlete's aim for this race, to finish inside that top 9. It doesn't matter where you finish. Really doesn't. Just got to be inside that top 9. Morsi is currently in 9th place with Mala Shenika. Those two will be starting on identical times. They are the ones that the likes of Wu, of Yurt, of Martinescu will be trying to catch. Clark, Oliver, Le and Green will have dreams of getting through to the final, and in fact from Oliver and Clark's point of view it's still very possible. They're not a million miles away from those top 9 positions. Athletes are gradually making their way to the start-finish line, and women's semi-final A is about to get underway, Mario.
So here you have it, semi-final A, 18 athletes will be reduced to 9 in about 15 minutes time now.
I think we're being told there's a technical delay, so we'll monitor that. So yeah, it's being confirmed. There is a slight delay for technical reasons.
It's a bit sunny out here in Cairo. Might prove to be an issue for a couple of these athletes, but nevertheless, it is 23 degrees, I'd say. Good conditions for pentathlon. See the camaraderie there between those athletes. They know they just need to make it into the top 9. It isn't an easy task. These athletes are up for the challenge. 2 Egyptians in this semi-final A. We have Salma Abdul Maqsood and Heidi Morsi in front of their home crowd. And as we said earlier, the story of the day, Paula Valencia. Hopefully she can keep that momentum up to the finish line to make her way through to her finals.
Just waiting to find out how long we will be waiting until the start of the laser run. Hopefully not too long now.
Now they're at the start line, and we have that aspect of the first shoot, which is like 20, 30 meters away. So they're going to be thinking about that first shoot instead of going off running. It's just so interesting. It's changing so much.
It reminds me of the Laser Run World Championships, because Laser Run World Championships is chaos.
Yeah.
You have a variety of age ranges. It's similar with biathlon, triathlon as well. Triathlon more so than biathlon, where they just run to the. It's crazy actually, because they don't have the handicap start with the Laser Run World Championship. That won't be the case here, but it will sort of, because there are a lot of athletes who are close to each other. The top 9 could well be completely different after the first shooting routine.
I think so too, yeah. I think Paula Sofia has the biggest lead out of all, and then looking down to 6th, Katarina Yurt is starting 33 seconds behind, and then it's just 2 seconds, 2 seconds, 2 seconds the difference between the athletes below her. So these athletes are all bunched up together now, and that could definitely change going into the first shoot. See the handicaps start on the bottom right of your screen. Those are the top 3 athletes. Valencia is starting things out, and 12 seconds behind her is Züksel. Gulyas 13 seconds behind, which is 1 off of Züksel. So those two will be basically starting together.
So here we go, 20 seconds until the start of women's semi-final A. Top 9 will be in the final on Sunday. It's very difficult to qualify for a final, by the way. And we will find out who our first 9 finalists are in the next 5 laps of this course. Leading us underway is Valencia of Guatemala.
Yeah, she makes her way to her first shooting series now. That has come back since Tokyo. Valencia needs a good shoot to maintain her position now. Züksel and Gulyas already out.
So we head into the shooting range on the first lap for the first time. And into the shooting range arrives our leader. Valencia, Züksel, Gulyas, Guzi, and Abdul Maqsood at the range.
Yeah, Valencia struggling with her last shot here, and she's out.
So Valencia with a 20-second shoot. It's a bit slow, but we expect slower times in this first lap. Züksel is a bit slower. The nerves are there to see, aren't they? Good shooting by Gulyas. Great shooting from Abdul Maqsood, who's always very quick. Guzi with a solid shoot as well. Right, now we're going to start seeing the meat and bones of this semi-final, as our top 9 athletes are all in the range. Can Wu put pressure on? Can Yurt put pressure on? Can Martinescu put pressure on? Yurt is struggling, so Anna Yurt is... Wu's away, so Wu moves up into 9th place. Malashenica has been caught out. Poppy Clark's made the first 4 shoots pretty solidly. Oliver as well. Yurt is down in 11th place. Clark has moved up. Oliver has moved up. So we'll get official confirmation of what is going on with the top 9 in a moment's time. Malashenica has been drawn into that battle for 9th place. Not the best start for her, but there is a long way to go. Make no mistake about it. So the athletes making their way around the course now. Ilka Züksel leads the race. Gulyas and Blanca Guzi are not too far. In fact, I think Valencia is still quite a way out in front. She is. So Valencia holds on to that lead. Züksel 2nd, Gulyas 3rd, Guzi 4th, Abdul Maqsood 5th. And it is indeed Malashenica who is in 9th place. So Malashenica hotly followed by Katarina Yurt, we think, for that top 9. Let's keep our eyes peeled on that as the athletes make their way to the first timing chips, and we'll get official confirmation then. So Valencia crosses the line in first place, that we can say for sure, and it's a decent lead she's got. Züksel, Gulyas and Guzi are in 2nd, 3rd and 4th, all locked together and all just really pacing themselves against each other at the moment. Then it is Abdul Maqsood across the line in 5th place, but we'll turn our attention to the shooting range in a moment's time. 6th place is Aslan. Solid first lap from Aslan. Then it's Morsi. Then it's Wu. Wu is an exciting athlete as well, by the way. Then it's Yurts. Yurts up into 9th place. Again, Malashenica in 10th, and then the Anna Yurt is there in 11th. So Valencia at the range is out. Azuksel's out. Guyesh is out. Guzi is already out. Abdul Maqsood is such a good shooter, by the way. Abdul Maqsood is probably, in my opinion, the best all-round shooter. Aslan's away as well. What about further? Morsi struggling with her first shot so far. Wu shooting well. Malashenica looking to put behind. That's a great shoot by Malashenica. Clark, by the way, keep your eyes on Poppy Clark, the young British athlete who started down in 13th place, is now making her way up the field nicely. We'll get official confirmation of what position she is, but I think she's moved up into that top 9. That battle for 9th is the one we are focusing on. And there you can see Poppy Clark has indeed moved up into 9th place above Yurt. So Poppy Clark currently from 13th to 9th is the story of this semi-final so far. There you can see she's trying to chase down Malashenica. In fact, Clark is up into 8th place now. She's overtaken Wu in 9th, Yurt in 10th. There's some quick runners a bit further back, Mariam.
Yeah, I mean, it's crazy to follow this race. It's all over the place. I didn't expect to see Poppy Clark up there so soon in the race, but she's doing a great job putting pressure on those top 9, and in fact is in the top 9 as things stand.
So good stuff from Poppy Clark. We've had 2 shooting routines, still 3 to go. That is the new way, the new format I'm going to call it, because it has changed this sport dramatically.
Yeah, Guzi is now in 1st place. Valencia in 2nd as they cross the line. We'll count them for you.
Strong, very strong 4 athletes, by the way. Valencia's done very well to mix it amongst the 3 elites of this sport in Guzi, Azuksel and Guyesh. Valencia doing a fantastic job out there. Aslan with that red cap on. Abdul Maqsood. I don't fear for any of those. There's your top 6. Poppy Clark, I think, is now up into 7th place. Malashenica in 8th. And the battle for 9th is
Wu and Morsi, I believe.
So Morsi's dropped back a little bit here. Aslan as well is in that battle. So the battle for 9th rumbles on at the 3rd shooting routine. Leaders are all out fairly comfortably. A sub 7-second shoot from Salma Abdul Maqsood.
That's incredible.
If you're a young athlete watching now, working on your shooting, watch Salma Abdul Maqsood. And Poppy Clark, by the way, is finding her rhythm beautifully here. One of the standouts of the show so far. Poppy Clark is doing an incredible job.
Oof.
There's still lots going on here, by the way. We've still got 2 shooting routines to go, so this is by no means done and dusted. Everyone still has to be very, very on point here.
Yeah, the battle for 9th is still wide open, and we'll get confirmation on those athletes battling it out for 9th. But I think it's going to be Wu and the Yurt sisters in that mix battling out for 9. And Heidi Morsi dropped a bit with that shoot there.
It could be a battle between the Yurt sisters for 9th place, by the way that this race is transpiring, as Katerina and Anna move past Wu into 9th place. So as things stand, there's probably a couple of relatively awkward Yurt parents watching from home, having to make a decision of which daughter they want to see in the final as things stand. And it is Anna Yurt who moves past Katerina and up into 9th place. Anna Yurt, the more experienced of the 2 athletes at this level, and you would back Anna Yurt at this point to get the nudge ahead of her sister. Up further ahead, just trying to work out who that was. I think it was Malashenica has moved up the field, hasn't she?
I think Aslan is in that 8th position, and
catchable for sure. So it's still possible both Yurt sisters do qualify.
Look at Poppy Clark though. She is running for her life here. She's past Salma Abdul Maqsood right now. I think she's up in 6th.
Poppy Clark could be one to watch for this season. We often will see 1 or 2 athletes just break through and dare I say, there's something similar to Karenza Bryson's style with Poppy Clark in terms of her being a very solid runner, good fencer.
And in fact, I think Anna Yurt is catching up to Sedela Aslan.
Aslan is dropping off, isn't she? So here we go. We'll stick with the shooting routines. We're not focusing too much on the front four because they're all fairly safely. Valencia's impressed me immensely. Azuxil struggling a little bit at the range here. It's just under 20 seconds, but that's fine. Guesh is away. She'll want to improve on that. Clark once again at the range. Malashenica with a solid shoot. Clark with a solid shoot. Abdul Maqsood with a 12-second shoot, slow by her standards, but still very fast. Now, keep your eyes on Aslan and the two Yurt sisters.
Mursi has a penalty, by the way. She's being stopped at the shooting range for 10 seconds before she can shoot. That's going to hurt her.
That's going to drop her out, potentially, of this competition. So, the Yurt sisters are away, and I think Gulyesh definitely hasn't dropped down. She's now shooting back up into, I think, Gulyesh is in first or second. Let's wait for the official confirmations. We're not going to speculate. Lots going on here, lots of sub-stories. And this, there you can see Abdul Maqsood getting drawn into the battle between the two Yurt sisters. So there you can see both Yurt sisters up into 8th and 9th. Aslan had dropped out of the top 10, and I think this is the top 9, how they're going to finish, by the way. I think this top 9, their pack now breaks away. They've worked their way through. They've come through individual battles. Although Abdul Maqsood's pace is dropping off here, by the way, which is surprising me a little bit. Could she get drawn into that battle?
I mean, she's currently sitting in that 8th position, and you can see 10th and 11th in the back there. It's Wu and Aslan. And it's, from this position, it's going to be tough. Don't rule anything out yet. We still got one more shooting series to go before these athletes have to sprint to the finish line. So our leaders come in again.
Still a way to go. Abdul Maqsood is the athlete dropping at the moment. We saw Aslan dropping on the previous lap. And you can see there, top right-hand corner, Blanca Guzzi arriving at the shooting range. She leads this race. She's overtaken Gulyesh on the track. Quick runner. And Gulyesh is perhaps maybe not giving it everything. Knows that the battle is Sunday for her. Gives her a good couple of days. Well, say a couple of days. A day's rest tomorrow. Just to regain strength. So Guzzi's away, and Guzzi will be in the final, no doubt about that. What about the chasing pack? Gulyesh, Azuxil, Valencia struggling on this shooting routine now, makes her first target. Malashenica and Clark are looking pretty good as well. Abdul Maqsood's down to 9th place. Azuxil's away. Valencia, solid performance. Poppy Clark will be through to the final. Brilliant performance from Clark, who started in 13th place. What about the two Yurt sisters? Abdul Maqsood is away. And is that Anna still at the range? It is, but Anna is away. What about the chasing pack then? Aslan and Wu. Wu shooting well here. A 7-second shoot from Wu keeps things interesting. So Anna Yurt up now against Zhiyao Wu. But I think the gap is too big. I think we called it in the previous lap, the top 9 as they are. Once these 9 athletes broke away, you have to sort of say perhaps on this competition, they're the strongest 9. Looking a bit further back, Olivia Green and Irene Prampolini having a good battle. Those two both training together in Bath. And Abdul Maqsood's probably going to be the athlete that finishes down in 9th place. I think her running is something she'll look to improve in the final, because I don't think anything changes at this point, Marion.
Yeah, I think those top 9 athletes are looking good for their positions and safely into the finals. Now it's the chasing pack that's trying to chase them down, but I think it's going to be too tough from this point.
Yeah, I think that gap is pretty big, and we will call the athletes as they make their way over the line, because this final lap now is drawing its conclusion. There's still some excited people in the crowd, but it doesn't matter about finishing first or second. Psychologically it might for some athletes, but now it's just a case of effectively this is your warm-down lap now for the likes of Blanca Guzzi, who now crosses the finish line. Very business-like performance from Blanca Guzzi. We'll see you on Super Sunday. Solid performance, and she is through. Brilliant performance from Poppy Clark, who raises a fist up high, and she deserves that. She is through to the final. As is Malashenica, as is Azuxil, as is Gulyesh, as is Valencia. Both Yurt sisters crossing the line together. And then in 9th place, Salma Abdul Maqsood. And there is a big gap between those top 9 in the chasing pack. And it just goes to show, doesn't it, that they are the best 9 athletes from this competition. You have to feel for Heidi Morsi, who started in 9th place, got that penalty which held her at the shooting range for 10 seconds, and that inevitably cost her.
Yeah, it's definitely unfortunate, but I think this is something that she can learn from and carry through to the... I mean, we're still at the first competition of the season, so still a lot to play for as these athletes make their way to the finish line now.
Olivia Green and Irene Prampolini crossing the line, those two well-known athletes from years gone by. An impressive performance from Prampolini as she's making her way into the semi-finals. I think she'll come away from this competition fairly content. Olivia Green will probably want more final appearances as the season progresses.
Yeah, Martinescu over the line now as Cizele makes her way to the start-finish straight. I mean, she started the day ranked in 2nd from the ranking round yesterday, so I think, yeah, it's a tough day at the office for her.
Cizele crosses the line. I think that is all 18 athletes over. It was a quick laser run that, by the way. Pentathlon just gets more and more competitive. It just gets harder and harder to qualify for finals, let alone win the medals. Actually, once you're in the final, it's kind of half. I mean, that in itself is an achievement, isn't it?
Yeah, definitely. I think making finals now is a big target for many of the athletes, especially the younger ones who are trying to gain more experience competition by competition.
So just seeing now the replays of some of the key moments of that battle. So key stages of this race, I feel like getting up to speed quick in those early stages with the first shooting routine was interesting to watch, wasn't it, Marion?
Yeah, I think a lot of athletes dropped off and a lot of athletes made time, especially. For example, Poppy Clark, we saw Poppy Clark in the 2nd shooting series moving up, but it was actually her first shooting series that gave her that jump start and gave her that push into moving up the standings.
I was very impressed by Paula Sofia Valencia, by the way, all day. Over the course of the day, she held her own amongst some of the stars of the sport.
Yeah, if this was a soccer match, I'd call her the man of the day, or the man of the match. What is it called?
What did you call it?
If it was a soccer match.
I think Marion means football match. And there we can see Blanca Guzzi crossing the line in 1st place, heading towards the shooting range once again.
I love seeing her compete, by the way. She's always very smiley, easygoing, and she has that nonchalant quality about her that I think makes her such an interesting athlete. She goes into the laser run knowing that she's going to make up the time that she has to make up. It's just, I love athletes that give us a show, and she's one of those athletes for sure.
Very happy.
Yeah.
Down to earth, real human being, isn't she?
Definitely, yeah.
I think pentathlon in Hungary is just, it's
a national sport.
It's a national sport, and they've got an Olympic champion. They've got multiple Olympians. Yeah, it's a sport that, and seeing both Yurt sisters crossing the line hand in hand there, by the way, was fun, wasn't it?
Yeah, I think both athletes deserve to be in that final, and yeah, they're just gonna have to battle this whole sister thing out in the finals. Just delays it.
Well, there's another twin as well potentially to join them, so I think it's all good fun and happy smiles, and I think a mum and dad watching at home will be very proud.
Yeah, definitely. They don't have to pick a side
here.
They
don't have to pick a side. That would be tough, wouldn't it?
Yeah, definitely. I think it's hard growing up in a competitive family, and just both athletes being and competing at that level is
sometimes it can be like
it's both.
Ahmed
and
Agendi and Mohammed.
Yeah.
They they favour each other sometimes, which can be detrimental to their competitions. Anyway, I think we're done waffling. We've got a lot more to come with, of course, women's semi-final B, men's semi-finals tomorrow. That concludes things for the first part of this exciting battle. We'll be back a little bit later with semi-final B. We'll see you then.
Into the lead.